Please stand and move your hands and join me in reciting the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may now be seated.
Good evening. It is with immense pride and joy that I stand before you, the graduating class, your families and friends, our esteemed faculty, the Board of Education, and honored guests to welcome you to our 2024 graduation ceremony. Today marks a significant milestone in the journey of our graduates. It's a moment to celebrate years of hard work, dedication, and countless achievements. Each one of you has shown incredible resilience and determination to reach this point, and I applaud you for your accomplishments. As you prepare to step into the world beyond these walls, remember the lessons you've learned, the friendships you've forged, and the memories you've created. Embrace the challenges ahead with confidence and optimism, knowing that you are equipped with the knowledge and skills to succeed. Graduating this year, having completed the requirements of Lawrence Area School, we have 31 seniors waiting to accept their diploma. I am very proud of this group and feel privileged to be here with them. Welcome and thank you for being here to share this night with the class of 2024. Our salutatorian this year is graduating with a grade point average of 3.961. He is the son of Kristen Dean and Mike Muma. Throughout school, he has participated in youth and government, COSA, student council, SLAC, baseball, basketball, and football. He has also participated in honors convocations since the 4th grade. His other school activities include working at Bayside, golfing, hanging out with friends, beach glass kicking, and sunset watching. He plans to attend the University of Michigan to study neuroscience and biopsychology. After undergraduate school, he plans on attending medical school to pursue a career as a flight nurse. This year's salutatorian is Tristan Muma.
Good evening. Thank you for taking the time to celebrate our special day with the 2024 graduating class of Lawrence High School. I would like to thank all of the school administration and faculty, especially the janitors and maintenance crew, for helping this event be possible tonight. First, I would like to read this poem kind of thing. It started off as a poem I was writing, but then I kind of just started yapping and took a couple turns and detours. One second, you were out riding on bikes or walking in obnoxiously large groups, not waiting for the road to be clear when going to the other side. Now, we are basically adults, and people expect us to go to our doctor's appointments alone. You didn't realize that time was ticking away with every word or hand gesture, or what that drink was that your mom would let you try when you were 11. Years ago, we didn't care about our grades, or what we wore the next day to school, even though most of us boys stuck with the neon-colored highlighter look, which Logan's a big, he was part of it. Don't know what we were doing there, but we didn't have to think about the idea of leaving. We were fine, just where we were. The last days of school were the best. Running out the doors after hearing the final bell at 3:18 or 3:15 back in middle school. But then, senior year hit. We enjoyed senior sunrises, skip days, proms, prom, events we waited our whole life for, up until that very last day. Before, Every last day was the same, and we knew where we would see each other. But our last day of senior year was different. There wasn't a see you next year. We just gathered in our cars. Some of us went home, some of us went to practice, some of us just went to work. And so, when this diploma hits your hand, you'll think about everyone you know and the memories shared, the places that they will go, and how happy you are for them. But also, how you won't be going with them, and how you don't want to lose the time spent with them. I am more than proud of this, class of 2024. To say it lightly, our senior year has been different. Lightning struck early on in the year when our homecoming really wasn't homecoming. Our football season got canceled. That made a lot of plans get canceled. And we only had one game under the lights of Volunteer Field. We weren't able to have the last football game under selfies that you'd see on random Instagram stories and posts. It was ripped away from us, just like that. Our homecoming week was different too, as we didn't have a powder puff game. Instead, we had a longer volleyball game that was definitely the highlight of the week. We made the best of it. And both Mr. Emmer and Mr. Devane threw the worst fundamental volleyball game that they had ever seen. It was great, and it showed that even through the thick of it, our grade in school was able to overcome adversity. Aside from canceling the game, we had a lot more time to work on our flow, and absolutely killed it. Miss Kangemi loved it. I'd love to shout out my mom, Kristen, and my stepdad, Jared, for dealing with all of us, and we used all the spray paint we had for Pinterest DIY lollipops that my mom found for us. But, all jokes aside, it was different. And it was a difference that did not sit right with us, but we sure made the best of it. Then we had the whole football hoodie scuffle. That should go down in the history books of the dumbest thing that has ever happened. It took like 4 months to get these hoodies, and I want to thank Deputy Griffin for actually having a big role in this. As without him, I would still most likely be getting invoice emails from Homestead Graphics. None of that matters anymore. What matters is the fact that we pushed through everything together, as a unit, as a class, and still managed to make everlasting memories all the way up to the grand finale of it all, graduation day. This is the day that everyone older has tried to prepare us for, but we now know there's nothing we can do but just be in the moment. We have talked about this day for years and years upon them. None of dread, worry, sorrow, but the excitement, the joy, the thought of being free has all been whirlwinding our minds the moment that the first class bell of senior year sounded. All of the moments, like Olivia sending her classic shoulder picture streaks every first hour, or like Hayden telling us how to park in the senior group chat, or how Dr. Frost had to bug the shop kids to come up to the main building because we didn't want to walk down there for the senior favorite pictures. These things, in the moment, didn't mean a lot. And in the future, there's something to look back on and have a laugh about. Then, we have moments like us gathering in the hallway to pick up our cap and gowns, or the funny way me and the seniors in the front row will change the whole assembly agenda to our likings, usually just being shaved but still. Everything seems surreal right now, and many of us are wondering if this is really happening. As I look upon everyone here today, I am thankful for everyone. As the memories, laughs, cherishable moments, they will always be there somewhere in my heart. You know, everything we have done in this moment leading up to this, they will all be stories someday, and all the group pictures that we have will just become old photographs. We will look back on these moments with our children or others, maybe shed a tear, and just wish for a time machine that would take us back to that very moment. And when we're older, we'll tell our kids to take in every bit of high school, because trust me, you're going to miss this, just like I do right now. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this. And to the class of 2024, guys, we did it.
Our valedictorian this year is graduating with a grade point average of 3.961. She is the daughter of Corinna and Jesse Koenig. Throughout school, she has participated in youth and government and SAD. She is the Student Council School Board Representative and is also a member of the National Honor Society. This year, she received the Copper Country Association of School Boards Student Leadership Award. Her out-of-school activities include piano lessons, Korean lessons, and working at the Pizza Shack. She plans to attend NMU, pursuing a bachelor's degree in digital cinema, while also studying abroad in South Korea. She aims to be a film director. This year's valedictorian is Akira Koenig.
We've all spent the last 13 years of our lives here. How weird that after tonight, we say goodbye to these halls, these people, and start a new chapter. How many firsts do we have in this building? With each other. Our first dance, our first best friend, our first football game. And this year, we got to, or had to, have our last together too. Our last dance, hopefully not our last best friend, our last football game, sort of, and our last days of high school. I remember meeting my first ever best friend, sitting down on the carpet in Miss Erskine's. Little 5-year-old Angelina walked up and asked if she could sit next to me. I remember thinking, wow, she's so sweet, why did she even ask? From then on, there were so many adventures and friends and fights. We've all changed over the years, but we've all changed together, all 31 of us. Pretty big class, guys. One of my favorite things is when all the girls would get ready for the Halloween costume walk together. We'd all pile in the bathroom across the elementary gym, which is way smaller than I remember, by the way, and help each other with makeup and outfits. I remember Addison helping everyone put lipstick on, even though it didn't match half the girls' costumes. We all lined up and put on the exact same color. And boy, would we take our time. The guys would have their costumes on in a minute, and we'd stay and get ready as long as we could without getting yelled at. And it's funny, because when we were younger, I felt like we never thought of ourselves as small. But when I look back, we're all so tiny. I remember us feeling like the stuff when we finally got to 5th grade too. We were the big kids in the hallway. We were definitely not the big kids when we got to middle school though. I remember how all the seniors would yell at us to walk on the right side of the hallway in middle school. We don't really do that anymore, guys, and I'm a little scared of what the roads are gonna look like when this year's middle schoolers start driving. I remember how Miss Wilder would yell, "It's Friday," and then leave, and how she would say she was only gonna do it once, but would almost always do it if you asked again. And then I remember COVID. How we all joked about it because we thought it was a world away, and then suddenly we were getting sent home. I remember having to do gym class online with only me, Julie, and Savannah, and how in Algebra 1, Mr. Smith would make us hold our homework up to the camera, even though it was impossible to see anything. Speaking of Mr. Smith, I think one of the weirdest changes for me, at least, is how it's not going to be the same for the younger kids, as it was for us. I remember certain teachers, specific classes. I'm talking about Miss Hamill's 7-hour science, guys, and I know most of you were in it because there was 20-something of us. But that's what made up our childhood, and I'm a little scared to come back in 10 or 20 years and see what's different, because by then the kids will have their own Mr. Smith, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. But by that time, we'll have our own new adventures as well, whether that's college or straight into work. I hope you find your next person that just makes everything so much more memorable. With that, I'd like to thank Tristan for asking me if I finished my speech enough times so we could actually start writing it. And I guess this is it. This is goodbye to high school, but hopefully not goodbye to each other. Good luck, everyone, on this very exciting, very scary next step, whatever that may be for you. We've got this class of 2024.
Good evening and welcome to our 2024 commencement ceremony. I'd like to take a moment to congratulate our graduates on this long and winding road that has led you here to this event tonight. Your success here today is a stop on your path through life, And as you continue on your life journey, hold on to the memories of your time here. Cherish the laughter and the friendships and the kindness you've experienced and all the wonderful memories. As you work on your next goals, enjoy the process and lend to others whatever gifts it is that are yours to give. Congratulations, class of 2024. You've worked hard to earn that diploma and be here tonight, and I'm proud of all of you. It is my distinct honor to introduce tonight's guest speaker and the 2024 Distinguished Alumni Award recipient. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Julie Elizabeth Ellenbaum was born in Lawrence to John and Cindy Hoover. Julie attended Laird Elementary School and graduated from Lawrence High School in 1993. While at LHS, Julie was involved in extracurricular activities including band, cheerleading, yearbook, youth and government, and SAG. She was also active in her church at Mission United Lutheran Church in Pelkey. After graduation, Julie attended Michigan Tech, where she joined the Air Force ROTC program. Julie earned a bachelor's degree in industrial management and marketing and was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Air Force. Her first assignment was at Los Angeles Air Force Base, where she served as a commander's action officer and project manager for the Global Positioning System Launch and On-Orbit Operations Branch. She led a $60 million initiative to launch 33 Global Positioning System satellites during her 3 years there. Julie's second assignment was at Eglin Air Force Base in Niceville, Florida, where she served as an F-16 Weapons Certification Project Manager and Executive Officer for the Sea Eagle Office. Julie was instrumental in authorizing over 140 weapon and instrumentation pod configurations on flights on the F-16 and T-38 aircraft. After 22 months in Florida, Julie moved to Edwards Air Force Base in California, where she was hand-selected to be the Test and Aviation Flight Commander at the 412th Flight Test Squadron. While there, she led an effort to provide the Chief of Staff with network capability on his aircraft for overseas travel. While at Edwards, Julie earned a master's degree in business administration. After 4 years in the California desert, she moved to Fort Belvoir, Virginia, where she served at the Defense Threat Reduction Agency. She was responsible for 63 projects totaling $185 million to exploit technologies to counter weapons of mass destruction. Julie then moved to Montgomery, Alabama, where she attended the Air Command and Staff College, earning a master's degree in operational art and science. She then returned to Los Angeles Air Force Base, where she served as the program manager for the Spacelift Range Systems contract. She also served as the chief of the Satellite Control Network Development Branch, responsible for the modernization of $10 billion in Global Command and Control Network. Julie also served as the Deputy Director for the Space Staff, leading a 27-person team for the technical oversight of a $5 billion space acquisition portfolio. While at Los Angeles Air Force Base, she supported a 7-month deployment to Kabul, Afghanistan. She led a team to sustain Afghan national military and police forces in managing over $13 billion in foreign military sales, storage, and distribution. While she was responsible for delivering high-priority equipment there, including A-29 aircraft, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance systems and weapons. Julie's final position in the Air Force was the Deputy Chief of the Acquisition Division at the National Reconnaissance Office. After serving 22 years and 8 months in the Air Force, 7 assignments, living in 4 states, and 1 deployment, Julie retired from active duty in 2020. She then transitioned into her civilian career, where she took a senior program manager position with Peraton, a federal defense contractor. At Peraton, Julie is currently the Deputy Director for Program Management, supporting a cloud-based infrastructure program to host 14 Department of Defense and Intelligence While in the Air Force, Julie earned the Defense Meritorious Service Medal, Air Force Meritorious Service Medal, Joint Service Commendation Medal, Air Force Achievement Medal, Afghanistan Campaign Medal, and NATO Medal. She also earned numerous awards, including 3-time Officer of the Year, Air Force Source Selection Team of the Year, and Unit Acquisition Excellence Program Manager Award. Alongside her military and civilian careers, Julie has dedicated her time giving back to the community. She served on her church parish leadership council as a Sunday school teacher, a youth leader, photographer, and social coordinator for her son's soccer team, Grammy Awards Media Talent, Center Talent Escort, and co-led her son's Cub Scout Den. Julie also enjoys working in her flower gardens, hiking, building puzzles, traveling, and attending country music concerts, as well as spending time with her family and friends. She currently resides in Fairfax, Virginia, with her husband, retired Colonel Christian Ellenbaum, and their 13-year-old son, Hayden. At this time, it is my honor to turn the podium over to our 2024 Distinguished Alumnus, Lieutenant Colonel Julie Ellenbaum.
Good evening, esteemed faculty, proud parents, supportive friends, and most importantly, the brave Mons High School class of 2024, filled with artists, hands-on learners, and creative thinkers. I am truly humbled and honored to be this year's Distinguished Alumni recipient and asked to be your commencement speaker. I am amazed that it has been 31 years since I walked the stage to receive my diploma. Shortly, the 31 of you will be coming up here to do the same, to join the other 3.2 million high school graduates across the United States this year. As you began your freshman year amid the pandemic, there was uncertainty as to how we would navigate our daily lives and move forward. Now, 4 years later, you are about to be high school graduates. Believe me, it's pretty awesome, but it's also pretty scary. You may be finishing high school, but today's commencement ceremony is just the beginning of the rest of your life. When you walk out those front doors, you will embark on a whole new adventure beyond high school. Some of you will be continuing your education at universities or colleges. Others will be stepping directly into the workforce, and I believe one of you will be joining the military. Whatever path each of you takes beyond the walls of Mons High School, I encourage you to be brave and step outside of your comfort zone, to find something you're passionate about, because it makes life a whole lot more pleasant when you're doing what you love every single day. I'm sure most of you recognize and are probably wondering why I have a pair of shoes up here. And maybe even some of you graduates are wearing a pair peeking underneath your gowns, which I think I see a couple out there. My Nike Dunks, as well as Air Max, Air Force Ones, and multiple other shoes with the famous Nike swoosh, began with a vision and a dream of Phil Knight, a college track and field runner, and his coach, Bill Bowerman, 53 years ago. The movie Air, released in 2023, tells the tale of a young, bold brand struggling to salvage their basketball shoe division due to declining sales. They eventually bet their entire annual basketball marketing budget on a single emerging rookie by the name of Michael Jordan. Their endorsement of Jordan was more than gutsy. It was a strategic risk based on unwavering faith in their own brand identity. Fortunately, as we all know, the risk paid off.
Nike is now one of the world's top-selling sneaker companies with $51 billion in sales in 2023. They could not be where they are today without being brave and taking risks. In the words of inspirational author of The Light in the Heart, Roy T. Bennett, you need to have faith in yourself. Be brave and take risks. You don't have to have it all figured out to move forward. When I graduated, I thought I had it all figured out. I was going to attend Michigan Tech, I was going to major in social science, and I was going to become a lawyer. As you heard in my introduction, that's not exactly the path I took to get where I am today. The summer after I graduated, my longtime friend Becky made a comment to me about the Reserve Officer Training Corps program as a way to help pay for school. As the oldest of 4 kids, with 2 working parents, it was hard to get financial aid, and so I pondered whether joining the military was something I was brave enough to do. During freshman orientation at Michigan Tech, I timidly walked up the steps to the Reserve Officer Training Corps building and signed up to join the program. That was the beginning of my 31-year journey with the Air Force as an ROTC cadet, military officer, and now government contractor supporting an Air Force customer. As I began my Air Force career, I made my way from Little LA, Lawrence, Michigan, to Big LA, Los Angeles, California, where I worked at an Air Force base surrounded by numerous 6-lane freeways. Living in rural Upper Michigan, I, like I'm sure most of you here, did not have an opportunity to drive on a freeway very often, if at all. I avoided it for the first year I lived there, until my husband made me drive home one evening after a formal dinner aboard the historic ship, the Queen Mary. I was completely scared to death, and not only did I have to drive on that dreaded freeway, but it was also dark. Taking author Bennett's words to heart, I had faith in myself, I took the risk, and with a little guidance from my husband in the passenger seat, I navigated our way home to our apartment. 17 years later, I found myself deployed for 7 months to Afghanistan, away from my family and missing most of my son's kindergarten year. 2 weeks after arriving, my fellow officers and I were sitting down for a meeting when we heard the commuter helicopters approaching the base. However, they did not sound very normal. Suddenly, one of the other officers looked out the window and saw a helicopter falling to the ground behind the building next to us. In an instant, our lives changed. We bolted out of the office, half out the door towards the British Puma helicopter, and others to get the first aid kits. I was on my way towards the crash site when 2 Marines from my unit, Gunny Sergeant Gene Carrera and Captain Trey Kennedy, both blew past me. I immediately began to account for and look after my team, and for the next 90 minutes, Gene and Trey took responsibility for pulling all passengers out of the helicopter, of which some survived, whereas others did not. A few months later, they were both awarded the Navy and Marine Corps Medal, the service's highest award for bravery. They both risked their lives and faced danger head-on that day. Shortly after the crash, I was waiting for an Army Black Hawk helicopter to take me the 10-minute flight to the coalition base on the north side of Kabul Airport, when my longtime college ROTC friend and fellow Air Force officer walked by and asked, "Julie, what are you doing?" I told him that I had no choice, as it was still the safest way to see my team that worked there, much safer than facing the improvised explosives being used against Army convoys around the city. A few months later, 2 British Pumas landed to take me to the North Airfield. As I approached the helicopters, my stomach was tight. I took a deep breath, put both feet forward, and stepped into that helicopter. It was the same feeling I had on my first U.S. commercial flight after 9/11. With each of the 7 assignments I had over my time in the Air Force, I had many opportunities opportunities to be brave and take risks. Each time I moved to a different state, to a new unit, where every single job was different, with a new mission to support and new processes to learn. I challenged myself to do the best job in the role I filled, make a difference, and take care of my team. If it weren't for the conversation with my friend and my own bravery to walk those steps to the ROTC building, it's likely I would not be standing before you today. I may not have met my amazing, smart husband, Chris, who is a fellow ROTC cadet, or had the opportunity to watch my athletically and musically talented son grow into the outstanding young man that he is today. Despite the changes in direction away from being a lawyer, I've had a fulfilling career I love, and I'm appreciative every day for the amazing colleagues and friends that I have met along the way. I could not have done it without being brave and taking risks. So Lawrence High School class of 2024, as you embark on this exciting new chapter of your lives, I challenge you to be brave. Be brave in the pursuit of your dreams. Dare to take risks and pursue your passions with unwavering convictions. Your path is not likely to be a straight line from point A to point B. So turn those tough times and failures into learning opportunities and emerge stronger on the other side. The world awaits your bravery, your brilliance, and your boundless potential. So go forth and make your mark on the world. And the words of author Stephen King, you can, you should, and if you are brave enough to start, you will. Congratulations on this momentous milestone, and may the spirit of bravery guide you on your journey ahead. And in the spirit of the famous Nike motto, just do it, and make us all from a small town in Michigan's Upper Peninsula proud. Thank you.
Thank